Today we will be looking at the next function of management, that is staffing. Now this particular function, staffing, is a very important function. It means that putting the right person at the right place and at the right time. See, once an organization structure is developed and we know that we need to fill in positions where with people who know particular things. So this process of filling up those positions or posts by competent persons is known as staffing. See, once the organization structure is developed, the next step is to fill in the positions in the organization. In an organization, it is the people who carry on the various jobs which are needed for its functioning. And they are the most important resource of the organization. Without people, without manpower, no organization can survive. And they supply the talent, skills, knowledge and expertise to achieve the goals of the organization and to fulfill the objectives of the organization. In fact, the performance of the organization largely depends on the quality of its manpower. That is why staffing is a very important function of management, and it involves the building of the organizational workforce. Staffing is concerned with ensuring that the organization has the right number of people and the right kind of people in the right place at the right time, and they are doing the things correctly. So this is a very important function of management. Now, if you look at the staffing, it is a managerial function because it is done by top management and even middle level management also. It is pervasive because it is carried out in every organization and at all levels of the organization. It is people centered because it is concerned with people. We are trying to find out people who have the requisite skills. And it is a continuous activity that it goes on and on and on. A person cannot work in an organization forever. He will retire, somebody else has to fill in that particular place. And the scope of staffing is very wide. So it has many activities like recruitment, selection, placement, training, etc. And it is required everywhere. And the actual work of staffing is to put the right men at the right job. Now, if you look at the importance of staffing, first of all, facilitates control. Well-trained staff works according to the plans and helps in the achievement of the goals of the organization. This helps in reducing the deviation in performance from the standards, and this helps the managers to control the various functions of the organization. So if you do staffing correctly, then management will not have any problem in controlling. Then optimum utilization of human resources. See, human resource is the most important resource of any organization. Without proper human resource, no organization can prosper. And in order to get the optimum output from the people who are working, the staffing function should be performed in an efficient manner because a huge cost is involved in the selection and training of the staff. Then long-term implications. Now it is not something which is done for a short-term basis or for getting instant results, but it has long-term implications because people, once they are selected, once they are placed, they stay on in the organization for a long period of time. And therefore it has long-term implications. Then efficiency. Now, since staffing helps to place the right person with the right knowledge at the right place and at the right time, therefore efficiency of the organization increases, and hence we can say as a whole the organization's efficiency increases. Motivation. The workers can be motivated by financial and non-financial incentives. Financial rewards are important, but acceptance and recognition by the managers are also very strong forces of motivation for the employees. So there should be a balance between financial and non-financial incentives in order to motivate the people. And therefore, if staffing is done properly, motivation will automatically accrue. Then it is a support to other functions of management. Staffing is the key to efficient performance of other functions of management. If an organization does not have competent people, it can't perform planning, then organization and control functions properly. Staffing supports the other functions of management. Now let us look at the steps or the process of staffing. First of all, you estimate manpower requirements. In any organization, manpower requirements are estimated. How many people will be required, where they will be required, what type of skills they should possess, and so on. So, it involves forecasting and determining the future manpower needs of the organization. Now, here two aspects need to be taken into account. That is type of employees and the number of employees. The manpower requirements of an organization are estimated keeping in view the present activities along with your future plans. Manpower requirements are estimated with the help of workload analysis, what type of work is to be done, and workplace also analysis, where they have to work. Then comes recruitment. Now, recruitment is the process of searching and motivating a large number of prospective employees for a particular job in an organization. Now, see, recruitment is not selection. That is very different. But it is the process of searching and motivating a large number of prospective employees to apply for a job. Recruiting occurs at the initial stage of employment, which begins with the search for suitable candidates and ends with the receipt of the applications. So once the applications are received, then the process of recruitment is over. Then comes selection. And here what is done is screening. This is the screening step of staffing. Under the process of selection, suitable applicants are selected out of a large number of them. Employee selection involves many steps. For example, you may have preliminary screening, then there may be a test, then there may be an interview, then there may be reference and background checks, then a decision will be taken, then medical examination of the candidates will be taken, then job offer will be given, and if they accept it, then it will lead to a contract of employment. So these are the different steps involved in selection. That means selection is the process where you are actually hiring the employee, or where you are putting the right person at the right place. Then placement and orientation. Placement involves putting the selected man at the right place, considering his aptitude and ability. Actually, placement is said to be the process of fitting the selected person at the right job or the right place. So, once he is fitted with the job, into the job, he is given the activities he has to perform and is also told about his duties. Now, orientation means somehow making the person acquainted with the situation. It is type of induction, you can say. It means introducing the newly selected employee to the various facets of the company, his job, other jobs, nature of the products, policies, rules and existing employees, etc. of the entire organization. The main aim of conducting orientation is to build up confidence and trust of the employees in the new organization, so that he becomes a productive and an efficient employee of the organization and contributes to the achievement of the goals of the organization. So this is a very important step, that you place the person at the correct place where he belongs according to his aptitude and training, skills, qualifications, etc. And you orient him also. That means you see to it that he becomes acquainted with the organizational structure, he becomes acquainted with the type of people he will be working, he becomes acquainted with the jobs that he is going to perform, and so on. In this manner, we say that the person acclimatizes to the environment of the organization and he will be able to work to his best. And lastly, we have training and development. Actually, the term training implies a systematic procedure of imparting knowledge and skills for a particular job. It benefits both the organization and the employees. Training increases the skills and abilities of the employees to perform the required job. Training is a continuous and never-ending process because there is no end to learning. And training and development should be done every now and then because business environment is constantly changing, and due to the change in the business environment, techniques are changing, the process of work is changing, the way in which work should be done, that is changing, products are changing. So things are changing and the employees have to adapt themselves to this changing environment. Therefore, from time to time, training and development of the worker should be done. Even though he may be a very experienced worker, even though he may be a very qualified worker, then also training and development is required. So these are the different steps of the staffing process. First we had estimating manpower requirements, then we had recruitment, then selection, then placement and orientation, and finally their training and development. And in the next video we will be talking about recruitment in detail, how recruitment takes place. That means how to bring in the maximum number of people to apply for a job, and how these are done. Now they can be done from various sources. It can be from within the organization, it can be from outside the organization, and so on.